Hi, my name is Napoleon Bonaparte, and today I am debating 20 fellow dictators. I believe I am the greatest dictator in human history.
Oh, look. The guy whose entire legacy is getting outsmarted by a Russian winter and a British island. Please, Emperor, you needed a coronation ceremony. I just walked across a shallow stream, declared myself dictator for life, and let my friends handle the rest.
At least my friends waited until I crossed a continental border to betray me, Julius. You got ventilated in a Senate meeting because you wore a purple bedsheet. I modernized the legal code, built the French infrastructure, and
lost the Battle of Waterloo to a guy named Wellington. Do you know what my biggest military blunder was? Running out of gold to bribe the Egyptians. We are not the same.
I conquered half of Europe against a coalition of every major power simultaneously. You fought a bunch of Gallic tribesmen who didn't even invent pants yet.
Hey, pants are a social construct, just like your height.
Napoleon, you talk about modernizing Europe, but you left the old monarchies mostly intact. You played chess with kings. Totalitarianism requires absolute, total mobilization of the entire population, economy, media, and mind. That is how you control an empire.
all right, fair point. Total ideological mobilization is a powerful apparatus. You absolute buffoon. You used that total control to try and fight the British, the Soviets, and the Americans all at the same time, while your entire logistics corps ran on stolen horses. Total mobilization means nothing if your strategic IQ is room temperature. You had a continent-spanning empire and lost it in 6 years because you couldn't check a weather forecast.
My intuition on the Eastern Front was unmatched. I dictated every tactical movement from my headquarters. Also, look who's talking, as if your empire wasn't dying by the second.
Yes, and you dictated your entire army straight into a frozen grave while screaming at maps. Wait, I kind of also did that, but whatever. You had a continent-spanning empire and lost it in 6 years because you couldn't check a weather forecast. And at least my empire survived through Napoleon III.
Gentlemen, please. You're both arguing about European mud. Let's talk about real leadership style. Renaming a whole country after yourself, seizing the economy overnight, and awarding yourself a PhD.
Who is this? Security. How did he get in here?
Security? I am the security. I once sent a telegram to the Queen of England telling her to come to Uganda if she wants to understand real power. And then I wrote a personal song about how much I love Scotland. Can you say you wrote a national ballad, Bonaparte?
I wrote a romance novel about a girl named Clisson when I was 26, which is entirely irrelevant because we are supposed to be discussing statecraft.
Statecraft is when you crown yourself king and have your cabinet carry your throne on a literal palanquin while the BBC films it. That is branding, Napoleon. You had a tiny little leaf crown. Weak.
It was a laurel wreath. It's a classical motif. Also, you're a cannibal with no real legacy. You both talk too much about crowns and branding. How many metric tons of steel did your empire produce per capita in 1805, Napoleon? That is not the metric of a great leader, Stalin. We were fighting a total war for the preservation of the revolution.
A revolution without a 5-year plan for agricultural collectivization is just a spicy weekend. Your administrative reforms were inefficient. Maybe you should have picked up a manifesto or something. You didn't even have a specialized state police agency that randomly arrested your own interior minister for looking at you sideways. Amateurs.
I had Fouché, and he was terrifying enough, thank you very much. At least my entire economy didn't collapse because I executed all the grain experts.
Ah, but did you purge your entire general staff before a major European invasion? No, you waited until they lost on the battlefield. And speaking of royal bloodlines, at least when I wanted to clean house, I didn't just exile a czar. I made sure the entire Romanov family and their pet spaniel were permanently archived in a basement in Yekaterinburg. Clean, efficient.
You executed children in a cellar? I may have crowned myself emperor, but I didn't murder a bunch of kids because I was scared of a family tree. You aren't a political visionary, Joseph. You're just a terrifying goblin with a pipe.
History is written by the survivors, Bonaparte. And your bloodline ended with a guy named Napoleon III getting captured by Prussia. Lame.
Didn't you let your son die in Germany, refusing to exchange him? Wait, you are French? Are you one of my marshals? What corps do you command?
I command the capital. And frankly, Bonaparte, your recent campaign metrics are down. I reviewed the tape from Leipzig. Your defensive transition was lazy.
My transition? I was fighting a coalition of 4 empires simultaneously. Who are you to critique my generalship?
I conquered European stages. I dominated domestic leagues. And most importantly, if a general under my command gives me a bad look in the locker room or leaks transfer rumors to the press, they simply do not play. Their contract gets voided. They are exiled to the reserves. Total control.
Wait, you dictate the squad selection? You fire the managers if the vibes are off?
I am the club, Napoleon. You let your marshals talk back to you at Waterloo. That's why you failed. Weak leadership structure.
He fits right in. He is more autocratic than Stalin. Why is a footballer running foreign policy? Hey, if you reach the ending of these magnificent debates, that means you must have really liked this video. So show your rightful emperor your loyalty by subbing, hitting the notification bell, and sieging the like button. While you're at it, share this with your friends, like I shared my military might on all of Europe.